Good morning. I am Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez. I am the chairman of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. Today's board meeting, even though we're here physically in our old Commissioners Court room, will be conducted within parameters of Governor Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic and video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19 matter. Notice that this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The board is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication from members of the public during the public comment section. This meeting is being broadcast live online. A recording of the meeting is also being made and will be available to the public at a later date. The time now is 9:47. I call the meeting to order. We'll begin with a roll call to establish quorum with precinct number 1.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Good morning, Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Good morning, Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that constitutes a quorum. Would you please lead us in prayer? Succeed.
Raul, could you turn on your camera?
We're good? Ready?
They're on.
They're standing like they're up for prayer, Chief.
Mr. Cecine, the prayer, please.
We can't hear anything. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Has the meeting started?
yes. Please lead us in prayer.
Okay, I apologize. We were not, okay. All right, let us pray. Father God, again, we give you thanks for this day that you've given us. We continue to ask for your peace over all of us, Lord. We know you're with us and for us as we gather to seek your counsel today, Lord. We continue to pray for the judge and 4 commissioners that you've appointed, Lord, to lead this great county of ours, Lord. We continue to pray for our mayors, city councils, police chiefs, district attorneys, sheriff, judges, and all who serve our local communities, Lord. Strengthen them with your wisdom and grace for the heavy burdens they carry, Lord. May they manage their teams and projects with love. Keep their hearts pure and their eyes turned towards your face as they work in the best interest of the people they are called to serve, Lord. We continue to pray for the first responders and their families. Lift them up to you, Lord. We ask for you to give them your wisdom and peace as they deal with the sick, Lord. We lift up those that are battling illnesses. We ask for your healing hand over them, Lord. Provide their families with the peace that you can only bring. And we continue to praise you, Lord, for all the healing that has come through you. We continue to pray for the peace over the families that have lost loved ones, Lord. May your hand of comfort be over them, Lord. May we be a blessing to others today, Lord. Scripture continues to remind us, Lord, that the more we seek you, the more we find you. May we seek you in everything we do, Lord. Lead our surrendered hearts to the path of your peace today. I ask this in your Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Did we have everyone sign up for open forum?
Yes. For drainage, we don't have any.
Okay, then we'll go to the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir, Judge. Consent agenda approval, check register and the utility permits and just some items that have been vetted by staff. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item
Thank
5A.
you, sir. Yes, sir. 5A, 1, discussion update as it relates to Alcoa County Initiative 1 meetings with Gregory Strategies to discuss 2021 HCD 1 legislative priorities. So this past week, we had a meeting in Austin, and 3 of the items that we discussed, part of our legislative priority for the district is the issuance of revenue bonds, private-public partnerships, a $50 million rider for the Delta Reclamation Project, and legislation authorizing Downtown County Initiative 1 to regulate encroachments on easements that we have or interlocals that we have through franchise agreements, interlocals that we have through irrigation districts, similar to what Harris County Flood Control has adopted. So meeting went well. We had our lead consultant, Happen Associates there with the team, went over, Commissioner Fuentes was there, Commissioner Villarreal was there as well. We just went over in generality, what we're looking at and the approach to continue to monitor legislation that we believe will help our district in these projects and moving forward with enforcement issues that we run into every day. So, Commissioner Fuentes, Commissioner Villarreal, anything you'd like to add?
I thought it was a very productive meeting. It was Mr. Gregory is, obviously very knowledgeable, and I think with the team that we have working on these legislative issues, as it pertains to the drainage district, I think all of them make a lot of sense. I think they were well received, and us putting together that strategy on how we're gonna approach it during this session, I think was critical, and hopefully we'll be successful. I wanna thank Isaac Sulemana from your office, Judge, and also Commissioner Villarreal for being there, in participating in that discussion, because having, a nice representation from our court, I think is an important part of this. But I do feel like these initiatives are very worthwhile and worth pursuing. And again, I was very impressed with Mr. Gregory and what he had to offer.
Well, on behalf of all of us here, we want to thank you and Commissioner Villarreal and everyone for going there. There's nothing better than an in-person meeting with the legislators that are the policymakers. And I think we do have a winner helping us with that thing, with those issues.
Yes, sir. No, I was happy to be there, Commissioner, and I did learn a lot, and I think that, we do have great opportunities in working with a great team to be able to get extra funding and be able to do a lot of new development over there in the area with drainage.
Good job, guys.
Anything else, Raul?
No, sir, nothing to add, sir. If I may, I can go to item 5A2, which is requesting approval of resolution as it relates to Senate Bill 1333, legislation authorizing Dow County District 1 to regulate encroachment. So this is one of the ones that we'd like the board to prepare a resolution to send to our state leaders regarding the encroachment of fences and things of that nature on our right-of-ways, not only on our right-of-ways, but also on any interlocal agreement we have with irrigation districts. As you know, we've probably taken over almost 300 miles of ditches and counting from irrigation districts that we maintain now. And, we run into a lot of issues with encroachment. So this is a similar language that was approved last legislative session for Dow County Flood Control District, for Harris County Flood Control District. And we'd like the board to adopt this resolution and signature. Judge, in the interest of time, would you like Jaime to read it out, or does everyone have a copy?
No.
How would you like, sir?
We've all read it before time. Before I ask for the motion, I'm the only one that's not wearing a mask. Are you all hearing the commissioner as well? No.
Yes, sir.
You all want to remove you're not hearing them well? Yeah, I didn't think so, yeah.
Judge,
Okay. I have a motion to approve the resolution as it relates to the legislative that's going on.
Motion made. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah, I think they're good.
I mean, we have to be training our staff regularly anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay. 5B, requesting approval to submit a joint request with Dow County for fiscal year 22 community project funding for North Main Drain Expansion Project. So this is a support service we're providing for the county for this application for what is called our North Main Drain Expansion Project.
move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, request approval resolution in support of joint request with Dow County and Dow County District 1 of fiscal year 22 community project funding for North Main Drain Expansion, subject to final legal review.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6A, requesting approval clarification correction to agenda item 859, approved on 3/23/21 to correct clerical error of change order number 2 to reflect the contract price of all approved change orders in the amount of $1,687,658.89 for contract CCD 120-02-90623 PD lateral phase 2, 2018 bond referendum project number 29 Morewell LLC. Just a correction, no impact.
Second?
Did I hear a second?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B1, approval of application for payment number 2 in the amount of $167,763.27 from G&G Contracts Pertaining Construction Contract Number ACDD 120340811. Project engineer Contina Haley Associates. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 7A, approval of application for payment number 2 in the amount of $52,571.49 from Castle Enterprises LLC pertaining to construction contract of ACDD 12000200211. Project NG Big Z. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Rated A, recommended bid award and approval to issue purchase order to the lowest and most responsible bidder meeting all requirements, specifications, Iowa Works Pipe Supply and Supply LLC for the advertised RFP number ACDD 12100680331 purchase of one 60-inch inline check valve for JOA drain 10th Street crossing, subject to compliance House Bill 1295.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Commissioner Torres, this is the valve we were waiting on, ma'am, so
Yes, sir.
we'll add a schedule for that, okay?
Fantastic, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. From 9A, Judge, 9A, 1, 2, and 3 will go into executive session on real estate and then come back out and take
Okay,
action as appropriate.
then pursuant to subchapter D of chapter 551 of Texas Government Code, will be retired to closed session under section 551.072, 551.074, and 551.071. I have a motion to retire into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we're back from closed session. It's 12 minutes after 10, and we do have some action items.
Raul, ready to proceed on the 9A.
Okay. Upon 9A1, possible action to approve a real estate contract for the purchase of 1302 East Rancho Blanco Road, Dow County, Texas, carry out a public purpose for the purchase price of $150,000 and authorize the board chair to execute real estate contract subject to final legal review.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I believe that.
9A2, possible action to approve a real estate contract for the purchase of 1308 East Rancho Blanco Road, FAR, Texas, to carry out a public purpose for the purchase price of $110,000 and authorize the board chair to execute the real estate contract subject to final legal review.
So moved. Second.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item A3, possible action to approve a real estate contract for the purchase of Kelly Far Track and irrigation track number 50302, the north 503.2 and the east 310.31, excluding the irrigation track north 310.33, east 167.96, lot 256, 0.56 acre net, Dow County President District Property ID number 203087, located in FAR, Dow County, Texas, to carry out a public purpose for the purchase price of $50,000 and authorize the board chair to execute real estate contract subject to final legal review.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We can't hear the board.
You can't
You
hear us?
cannot hear us?
No, we can't.
We're muted.
He acknowledged that you could hear.
Can hear you now.
Okay, well, motion carried. Are there any
Okay.
other action
With-
items?
Go ahead, Ivan.
With respect to the closed session discussion on real property, if the board is so inclined to move to authorize the administration to proceed as discussed in the closed session with respect to the real property matter.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Does that conclude all our agenda items?
Yes, sir.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Well, good morning again. I'm Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez, and today's Commissioners Court meeting is being conducted within the parameters of Governor Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic and video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19. However, we are meeting live in person here at the Commissioners Court room. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The court is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows for two-way communication for members of the public during public comments. This meeting is being broadcast live online. A recording of the meeting is being made and will be available to the public at a later date. The time now is 18 minutes after 10. I call the meeting to order. We'll begin with roll call, Commissioner of Precinct 1.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Today, is customary for us, we have one of our veterans lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Daniel Marichalar Jr. will be presenting us or leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Morning, Judge. Morning, Commissioners. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Specialist. Daniel lives in Elsa. He is honored to serve his community in Precinct 5 as constable for the last 3 years, and we're very proud of him and for his service. His date of service was from 1986 to 1931. Today, we're also honored to have our Honorable Judge Kino Flores Jr., the Master Court Number 2, lead us in our prayer. Judge?
Judge Flores.
He has not joined.
I'm sorry. He's not. Judge, if I may.
Please, Vale.
Okay. Please bow our heads. Dear Lord, please hear our prayers. Today we ask that you please continue being with those who ask for your blessings and protect those in need. We ask that you also heal the sick and nurture the families who have all lost loved ones to this illness. Lord, during this difficult time, we ask that you please inspire vigilance and patience in our educators, healthcare professionals, business and community leaders, and ask that they remain healthy and safe as they continue undertaking duties and further challenges. We humbly ask that you guide us in making the best decisions for all county residents. We ask for your knowledge as our community strives to come together and overcome all obstacles before us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Next, we have the approval of the consent agenda.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, we will take this at a later time today.
Okay. Next is open forum.
Yes, Judge, we have 12 on the phone that signed up, and we have right now, let me get the first. First, we have Aurora Sanchez.
Sí, soy yo.
Sí.
Buenos días.
Buenos días, Ms. Sánchez. Es un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobra un minuto.
Bueno.
Adelante, por favor.
Nomás le damos sinceramente las gracias por el trabajo que hizo aquí a la entrada de la colonia El Flaco, que quedó muy bien allí el trabajo y se lo agradecemos con todo el apoyo de nosotros y sinceramente las gracias. Y arriba, señor comisionado.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias por atendernos.
Gracias. Judge, Commissioner, just...
Ándele, igualmente.
As a very quick translation, Ms. Sanchez called in to thank the Commissioners Court and her commissioner in general, specifically with the work that was done in their community and in their subdivision.
Okay, next we have Ms. Jeanette Campos.
Ms. Campos? Ms. Campos?
Mire, soy Janet Campos, vengo de la colonia Eduardo 4, soy miembro de la Lupe. Nomás les hablaba para agradecerles que nos hayan acompañado a la marcha, porque para eso para nosotros es bien importante.
Carmel Chávez.
Sí, lo de César Chávez, que es bien importante de que ustedes nos apoyan. Y yo nunca había visto a alguien importante que vaya a la marcha. Y le agradezco de todo corazón, ¿verdad?, que Diosito lo bendiga donde quiera que ande, de que nos acompañe ese día. Muchas gracias, que Dios le dé mucho, mucho más, donde quiera que ande.
Gracias. Judge Commissioners, as a quick-
Gracias, que tenga un buen día y que Diosito me lo acompañe.
Gracias. Thank you. As a quick translation, Ms. Campos called in to, she is with the Colonia Eduardo 4. She is with the organization Lupe, and she wanted to thank everyone with respect to the march that was held and the support that was given by the commissioners and the court in general.
Okay, next up, we have Carmela Chavez.
Sí, buenos días.
Sí.
¿Ya puedo hablar?
Sí, Ms. Chávez, es un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobra un minuto. Por favor, adelante, por favor.
Sí. Buenos días, mi nombre es Carmel Chávez. Yo vivo aquí en la colonia Cardinal Valley. Y hoy quiero darle a la señora Gerardo Villarreal por habernos apoyado en la caravana de César Chávez. Gracias, que tengan un buen día.
Gracias. Thank you. Judge Commissioners,
Sí, gracias.
as a quick translation, Ms. Chavez is with Colonia Valle. She is wanting to call in and thank Commissioner Villarreal with respect to the march walk that was held for Cesar Chavez.
Okay, next up, we have Olivia Torres.
Ms. Torres,
Buenos días.
buenos días. Hay un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobra un minuto. Adelante, por favor.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Olivia Torres. Soy miembro de la Unión del Pueblo Entero y también pertenezco al precinto 3. Y quiero darle las gracias al comisionado Everardo Villarreal por su pronta respuesta de las limpiezas de nuestra colonia. Estoy muy agradecida con él y esperando que sigamos trabajando para nuestra comunidad de la mano. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Thank you. Judge Commissioners, as a quick translation, Ms. Torres is with Organization Pueblo Entero. She called in to thank Commissioner Villarreal for his quick response to their call to him. And she also stated working hand in hand that they will continue to work on their community needs.
Okay. Next up, we have Ms. Consuelo Duran.
Ms. Duran?
Sí, buenos días.
Sí, Ms. Duran, hay un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobre un minuto. Por favor, adelante, por favor.
Sí. Buenos días, comisionado Verano Villarreal. Mi nombre es Consuelo Durán, soy del precinto 3 de la colonia Eduardo 8, soy miembro de Lupe. Muchas gracias por haber hecho la limpieza de las colonias muy rápido, al otro día que le hablamos. Gracias por el sign de mi calle donde vivo, hace muchos años que no la tenía y la pusieron ayer. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias.
Judge Commissioner Ms. Duran called in. She is with Eduardo 8. subdivision. She wanted to call in and thank Commissioner Villarreal for his quick response to their needs and phone call, and as well as the quick turnaround time with the signage that was put back up in their subdivision.
Next up, we have Carla Rodriguez.
Ms. Rodriguez? Ms. Rodriguez? Okay, I don't think she's on. Can we go to the next caller while you work on that caller?
Okay, next we have Jeanette Rodriguez.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Sí,
Ms. Rodriguez, sí, hay un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobra un minuto. Adelante, por favor.
sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es Janet Rodríguez, soy de la colonia Eduardo 7, pertenezco al precinto 3, soy miembro de la organización Lupen. Queremos agradecer al comisionado Gerardo Villarreal y a su equipo de trabajo por atender muy pronto a nuestra ayuda de la limpieza de colonias. Esperamos seguir contando con su apoyo para seguir trabajando más por mantener nuestras colonias y calles limpias. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Thank you. Judge Commissioners, Ms. Rodriguez is called in. She is with Eduardo 7 subdivision. She is with the organization Lupe. She's calling in to thank Commissioner Precinct 3 for his hard work and the cleanup work that was done at their subdivision. And that, again, thanking him for the quick turnaround time.
That is all for the calls.
Okay? Did we resolve was it Jeanette Rodriguez, was that the one that we were trying to get earlier, or were there two Ms. Rodriguez's?
It was two Ms. Rodriguez. They already left. The other one left.
Okay.
They hung up.
Thank you, sir. So we have in person,
Ms. Fern McCleary.
Ms. Fern McClary. Ms. McClarity, there is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start.
Commissioners, finally, I get to see what y'all look like, see how much weight you've gained or lost. But we're glad you're meeting back in the courtroom because the pandemic is still ongoing, but it is getting better. The longer this game had continued, the less confidence the public had in your actions, and greater is the number of businesses now that are going from mask mandates to, thank God, recommendations. The concern over COVID-19 becomes less each day as we learn more about the impact on our population. Unfortunately, our elderly and those who have underlying conditions suffer greatly, but more people have died of the flu. This county has spent $151 million preparing for an event that is over. Thank goodness it's downhill. This county bought buildings, hired staff, printed posters that spread the word about wearing a mask, staying 6 foot apart, staying home. Each of you are a significant part of the population, and the population have received the shot and are is good to go. But still, you wanted to play this game. We will save you. Your actions were setting a bad example for the rest of the community. The schools are not fully open to in-class teaching. In Edinburgh, 33,000 students and 4,000 employees have been out of work for a year. I understand that they are now going still online teaching, which means they're not coming back to work. But they're volunteering to go into the shelters and be their person right there with the illegal children that are crossing. I don't know what the difference is. The district courts have always been working from Monday to mid-Thursday, and that continues to be a problem. The bottom line is that elected officials are servants of the people, and the actions of this commission is beginning to suggest problems were brewing.
1 minute.
Your new name at that time was Virtual Speed and Hyde Commission of Hidalgo County, and I don't think that was good. And today on the agenda, I see that Constable Precinct 5 is wanting to, I think, hire someone or add someone. I have the numbers. All the other constables bring in 126,000, 118,000, 108,000, and Precinct 5 brings in this year 18,300, which they had 20,646 last year. My thing is, I don't know what the problem is, but they've always brought in the least of all the constables. So y'all voted to bring them back. I vote that you check and make sure that they're doing the work. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, Commissioners, I do believe we have Ms. Carla Rodriguez back. No, I'm just being informed she just disconnected. So our next in-person speaker?
That was the last one, sir.
Okay. If Ms. Rodriguez calls back in, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Judge, Commissioners?
Okay, we're done.
Yes, sir.
Next item is item 6A. We have a presentation award to our own Laura Hinojosa, our district clerk, for her outstanding services to the Texas Association of Counties Board of Directors. I think we have somebody from the organization.
Yes, sir. We have Ms. Susan Redford on the line, and we do have Ms. Laura Hinojosa. Ms. Laura?
Morning.
Oh, there she is. Good morning. Ms. Redford,
Yes, sir.
go ahead, please.
Thank you to the Commissioners Court for giving me this opportunity to address you and to recognize one of your own. As you know, I am Susan Redford. I am the Executive Director of the Texas Association of Counties. We do provide services to all 254 counties in the state of Texas, including your very own county. And we're very, very proud to be able to represent you in legislative and other issues. So thank you for your membership and your continued participation. During the years of 2019 and 2020, Mrs. Hinojosa served as a member of the board of directors for the Texas Association of Counties. You obviously have working knowledge of this board, as your very own Constable Larry Gallardo is a past president of the Texas Association of Counties. During Mrs. Hinojosa's time as a member of the board, she accomplished many great deeds which your county will benefit from, beginning with helping us implement a 2-year strategic plan in which she led a task force to help us identify the needs of the larger counties that do not take advantage of some of our services, and helped us implement a strategy to outreach to your county and others, so we can be of more service to you. She also helped us as we celebrated our 50th anniversary and made many improvements to our policies and to the services that we offer. So I was not able to wish her well. The board met virtually all of last year, but we did want to take this opportunity to show you how much we appreciate her time and her service. We do have this token of our appreciation that we will be mailing to her, but I wanted to make sure that you knew what an outstanding asset you have, and how she truly has represented Hidalgo County as well as the Texas County District and County Clerks Association on our board with grace, dignity, and absolute excellence. So thank you for that. And Laura, thank you so much for your service to the Texas Association of Counties. You're greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Susan. I am really honored to receive this recognition. For people who don't know, the mission of TAC is really very simple. It's to unite counties to achieve better solutions. And the TAC board was an extremely rewarding experience for me. That board is composed of county judges, commissioners, sheriffs, JPs, as you mentioned, county clerks, district clerks, auditors, treasurers, tax assessor collectors. And it's just such a dynamic board full of passion, people who are truly committed to public service and dedicated to making a difference throughout the state of Texas. So I would highly encourage any elected official or any governmental entity to truly become more involved with TAC and learn the TAC way, eat it, breathe it, and profess it. But anyway, thank you again for this recognition. I was so honored to represent Hidalgo County, and I'm just want to thank you and TAC for the honor.
Well, congratulations, Laura. It's always good to see our elected officials being represented us in state organizations, state leadership roles, and obviously you did a great job by evidenced by this recognition.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so much. And thank you all for the opportunity to be here with you at Commissioner's Court today.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to the next item. We have an approval of resolution in favor of House Bill 3904. This is related to the creation and continuation of a county fire marshal position. Hope you all read it and approve it.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next one is reappointment of my designation for the Hidalgo County Housing Authority. I would like to reappoint Mr. Juan Maldonado.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have District Attorney's Office. They're here to present a proclamation.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Matthew Palacios with the Public Affairs Division, and I'll be assisting the District Attorney's Office with reading the proclamation. May I begin?
Please.
Proclamation declaring April 2021 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office shares a critical concern for victims of sexual violence and a desire to support their needs for justice and healing. And whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in this community. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment harm our community, statistics show 1 in 5 women and 1 in 67 men will be raped at some point in their lives. And whereas child sexual abuse prevention must be a priority to confront the reality that 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls will experience a sexual assault before the age of 18. And whereas young people experience heightened rates of sexual violence, and female ages 16 through 19 are 4 times as likely to be victims of rape or sexual assault. And whereas during their time in college, 19% of women and 5 to 6% of men are sexually assaulted. And whereas victims are likely to disclose a sexual assault to a friend or family member, and when the loved one responds with doubt, shame, or blame, victims suffer additional negative effects on their physical and psychological well-being. And whereas this year's Sexual Assault Awareness Month campaign theme is #IAsk, because asking for consent is a healthy, normal, and natural part of every sexual encounter. We are calling on new partners and community members to help expand sexual assault prevention efforts and ensure that the next generation fosters attitudes that promote healthy relationships and equality and respect. And whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office will join communities across the country in taking action to prevent sexual violence and to provide prevention awareness of this terrible crime. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that all members of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court support the #IAsk public awareness campaign and does hereby declare April 2021 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Approved this 6th day of April 2021.
I have a motion to.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This is a very, very powerful thing, to support. It's really a very sad thing to see in our society.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners, if I may.
Please.
Judge, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Judge, thank you again for always participating and being part of the events that we partake on, not only our office, but everyone throughout Hidalgo County and the Rio Grande Valley. When we talk about certain prevention awareness that we do just about every month throughout the whole year, because it's so important to us, but also to the community. And today, again, I thank you for the resolution. And the resolution, it means so much, not only for our office, but victims that are out there and also to our community. And I wanted to take this time, Judge and Commissioners, to introduce the Special Crimes Division that obviously you guys have also helped a whole lot, and us being able to put together this team that involves prosecutors, administrators, and also investigators, and also advocates to be able to put this team together. And they do such a great job and bringing justice not only to the victims, but also to every member in our community, which is very important. And they work so hard at that. And I want to introduce Chief Hope Palacios, who's with me today, Prosecutor Nicole Rodriguez, Prosecutor Marcela Sáenz Salinas, Prosecutor Veronica McCann, Prosecutor Laura Rodriguez, Investigator Linda Greenwood, Advocate Hilda Cifuentes, Admin Supporter and Supervisor Jessica May. And these are just some of the individuals that are part of the Special Crimes Division that, again, work diligently every day to bring justice on the prosecution side to victims and to members of our community. But not only is the prosecution is important, like I've said before, also the prevention and awareness, and that's why we're here today. We're asking our community members, our citizens to join together with us in bringing justice to individuals out there that may be victims of sexual assault and also child abuse, and also are victims of crimes as well. It is important that our community partake in this, and that's why we're here, because they are as important as these individuals that are here with me today. They are just as important in bringing justice to individuals. So again, I want to thank you, Judge, Commissioners, for always participating and partaking and bringing our efforts out to the community, because it's so important to keep our community members involved, not only when we talk about services for victims, but also on the prosecution side. And I want to thank every agency that's with us today, law enforcement agency, and also any agency that gives victim services and somehow, some way touches different individuals in the sense of helping them bring justice to them and when they're going through the process of the justice system. So thank you again, Judge, Commissioners, for everything that you do. I'm going to have Hope Palacios, our Chief Prosecutor, just say a few words. I know we have other resolutions, so we don't want to take up a whole lot of time, but I do want to recognize Chief Hope Palacios and also allow her to say a few words and thank you to you as well. Chief Hope.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I had the great honor of serving as Chief of the Special Crimes Division for the past 5.5 years. Our division was created under the supervision of Mr. Rodriguez. We've worked hard during that time to bring justice to the most vulnerable victims of our community, our children. We're grateful for the agencies that work with us. We're grateful for our local law enforcement officers. We're grateful for the Children's Advocacy Center. We're grateful for the highly trained sexual assault nurse examiners who are vital in this process. We're also grateful for our alliance with the Child Protective Services. We will not rest, we will not stop, we will not quit until we are sure that every child in this community will lay their head down at night on their pillow and not have to worry about sexual abuse. We're grateful to the Commissioners for your support, and we're grateful to the community. And again, if you know of someone who has been sexually abused, please, please, please pick up the phone and make that call. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And again, I'm honored and privileged to be able to work with this great group that's here and everyone else that's part of the Special Crimes Division. So again, Judge, Commissioners, thank you for your support.
Thank you, Judge. Next, we have a proclamation declaring April of 2021 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Will you please read the proclamation?
Thank you, Judge.
Whereas child abuse prevention is a community responsibility and finding solutions depends on involvement among all people. And whereas in fiscal year 2020, there were 68,461 confirmed victims of child abuse and neglect, and 251 fatalities in the state of Texas. And whereas the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services conducted 8,387 investigations of child abuse and neglect in Hidalgo County in fiscal year 2020. And whereas of those cases investigated for abuse and neglect, a total of 1,923 were confirmed as victims of child abuse and neglect, including 3 child fatalities. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs that benefit children and their families. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas everyone in the community should become more aware of child abuse prevention and consider helping parents raise their children in a safe, nurturing, and loving environment. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby declares April 2021 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month in Hidalgo County and urges all citizens to work together in order to significantly reduce neglect and child abuse in years to come. Approved this 6th day of April 2021.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This also is a tragedy to have this, our children being abused. Judge, you want to?
Yes, Judge and Commissioners, again, Misty, thank you again for presenting and reading the proclamation. Judge, Commissioners, and to the community, obviously, we do everything we can to protect our children in our community as our responsibility here at the office, but also as parents, as uncles, as aunts, as grandparents. We do everything we can for our children. And this is why these resolutions are so important, Judge and Commissioners, because when we talk about, unfortunately, when a child is abused, whether it's physically, sexually, emotionally, they're the most vulnerable. They can't defend themselves. And that's what makes them very vulnerable and becoming victims. And so what's important as to children, the people that are around them. Those are the individuals that are very important in these instances of the people that are with them day in, day out, because these are the individuals that can identify and notice if something's going on with a child. So again, the community being involved and the community paying attention as to what's going on to their children, to their grandchildren, to their nieces, nephews, cousins. It's very important for all of us to recognize the behaviors, the patterns of these children, to be able to identify if there is some kind of abuse that's going on with the children. So thank you again. I'm going to introduce to you the Child Welfare Division. Again, that's a very important division that partakes in bringing justice and protecting children along with the state, along with CPS and so many other agencies that are involved. I have Prosecutor Ivan Rosa here to my left. We have Ricardo Rodriguez, also a prosecutor. Jose David Garcia, who's also a prosecutor, and Rachel Abby Miller, who's a prosecutor as well in the Child Welfare Division. And then, of course, we have our staff that, we couldn't function without them. We have administrative support supervisor San Juanita Alarcon. We have our legal assistant, Argelia Martinez, and also our legal assistant, Teresita Gonzalez, who make up just, almost a team that makes up the Child Welfare Division. So I'm going to give Ivan Rosa just an opportunity to address our citizens and also the court as well.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. If you could just humor me for a moment. I'm going to ask all of you to imagine that you are a child. And as a child, you are afraid of your own parents or afraid of going home. You're overflowing with emotions, but have been taught that you don't discuss family matters outside of the home. Those things are secret and you hold them all in. It could be that you yourself are not the victim of abuse, but your mom is. What would witnessing that do to you as a child? And that there is not a single person that you can tell. We ask all of you, our community, to stand up and be a voice for these children who are victims of child abuse. We ask that you join the efforts of many currently working together to protect those that are the most vulnerable. We ask for your help in breaking that silence and raise awareness to the issues that our children currently face and feel that they face alone. Be that voice and make that call. As my boss previously stated, these are your cousins and your grandkids, but these are also your neighbors. These are your neighbors. These are the children that you see at your convenience store, at your grocery store, anywhere. Be that voice. These are no longer family issues that must remain secret and that all of us must stay out of. Let us all pledge today and from now on to be that voice and to let our children know that they are not alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. And again, Judge, Commissioners, thank you again for this resolution. We really appreciate it on behalf of the District Attorney's Office and also the community.
Well, we thank you for your service. We have one more proclamation declaring April 18th through the 24th of 2021 National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Will you please read the proclamation?
Thank you, Judge. Whereas Americans are the victims of 20 million crimes each year, affecting individuals and communities. And whereas years of investment in crime victims' rights and services have developed a system of victim response that can help victims recover from crime. And whereas reaching and serving all victims of crime and rebuilding their trust is essential to supporting thriving communities, because those who receive holistic services and support are more likely to remain invested in their communities. And whereas engaging a broader array of healthcare providers, community leaders, faith organizations, educators, and businesses can provide new links between victims and services that improve their safety. And whereas many victims face barriers such as isolation, distrust of authorities, language limitations, lack of transportation, cultural barriers that keep them from accessing the services and criminal justice systems that can help them recover from crime. And whereas honoring the rights of victims, including the rights to be heard and to be treated with fairness, dignity, and respect, and working to meet their needs, rebuilds their trust in the criminal justice and social service systems. And whereas National Crime Victims' Rights Week provides an opportunity to recommit to ensuring that all victims of crime, especially those who are challenging to reach or serve, are afforded their rights and receive a trauma-informed response. And whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office is hereby dedicated to strengthening victims and survivors in the aftermath of crime, building resilience in our communities and our victim responders, and working for justice for all victims and survivors. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby declare the week of April 18 to April 24, 2021 as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Hidalgo County, approved this 6th day of April 2021.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Again, this is a national tragedy.
Yes, thank you, Judge, Commissioners, again, once more. And victims, we have near and dear to our hearts when it comes with working with victims, unfortunately, because they're victims of a crime. And besides near and dear to our heart, Judge and Commissioners, we are doing everything we can every day to make sure that we afford the rights that they have. They have as much rights as a person being accused of the crime, and we can't forget that. Under the law, there's many things that we have to comply with to be able to make sure that victims are afforded their rights. And I can tell you through our victims unit, our victims advocates, and everyone here at the office, we strive every day to make sure that we help victims and guide them along the judicial process, since that we do that every day. But I know that there are many victims out there that have many questions and many concerns and doubt about the judicial system. And we have done a good job with the team that we have to be able to explain to them, to be able to listen to them, to be able to hear their concerns. And a lot of times that's what they want. They want someone to listen to them and to hear their concerns and guide them and explain to them, which, you know, they don't understand how it works. There's individuals that have never walked into the courthouse before, that have never been part of the system. So it's not their fault that they don't understand the process, and that's why we're here. And I thank the judge and the commissioners for giving us that opportunity to be able to have the staff that we need to be able to comply with the rights that are afforded to them. And today we have an individual who's done tremendous work in helping victims, and we work well together in bringing justice to a lot of these victims. We have Robert Garcia, who's the director of the Families and Friends of Murdered Children. Robert, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mr. Garcia?
Thank you for having me. I think it's very important that we encompass all the victims' rights movement. You know, as we celebrate the 40th year of the anniversary, this year's theme is to support victims, build trust, and engage communities. And, you know, the Hidalgo County District Attorney is an arm, actually the beacon of us as victims of hope. You know, we celebrated sexual assault this month, child abuse. 40 years of victims' rights movement. I've been 21 years in this movement. And I started with the Children's Advocacy Center back in 2000 for 11 years, advocating for abuse and neglect and sexual abused children. And I see Yvonne getting involved from when she was with the sheriff's office. Now she's a prosecutor, and Hope Palacios being the chief and helping and being a voice in the prosecution of these children. And also all the victims advocates that are the district attorneys that has. You know, but when we put all the things together as victims' rights, you know, the prevention, intervention, and the ultimate sacrifice, when we say the ultimate sacrifice is when somebody is killed and murdered by a coward, you know, that's the ultimate. And all of those victims that are murdered, I represent about 950 victims that have come through the Rogers Center. The Rogers Center was also named after my brother, Rogelio Roger Garcia, was murdered. And as a victim's rights and as an advocate, not only do we see child abuse, human trafficking, and sexual assault victims, sometimes they all encompass judge, commissioners, they're all being tortured through all those, and then ultimately they get murdered. And those victims that are, you know, voiceless, that are 6 feet under, you can't see them. I represent those communities, those victims. And I work hand in hand with law enforcement and all the prosecutor's office and Mr. Rodriguez and all the victims advocates and court advocates help us when we go to the prosecution and the trial. So victims' right is very important and dear to us. We must continue the fight. We must continue being one voice, one message, one unit together. And we will partner this year on April the 22nd with the Mission Police Department, and we will do a walk. Traditionally, we've been doing this for the last 8 years, but because of COVID-19, we were limited last year, but we're gonna get back to bringing awareness in the community and walking and doing prevention, intervention, and education is also a component of the victims' rights. But I can tell you, I am a strong supporter, and I've seen all the advocates at the courthouse and the DA's office. You know, he's very proactive, and I appreciate for him to listen, being compassionate, and also sometimes we cry together and we laugh together. And the victims' rights is very important and dear to us. Remember, support the victim, build trust, engage the community. And that's why you commissioners and judge are very important because you are the leaders that help us with that beacon of hope. Thank you on behalf of my victims and all the victims that came before us and the victims that will not hopefully prevent in the future. We're here to serve you. God bless you.
Thank you. and
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Thank you. And Judge Commissioners, I'd like to introduce Serena Rios Scamardo, who's our unit victims director, and she's done a great job. And I'd like to also introduce, they're not with us here, but I'd like to call them out and by name, those individuals that are part of the victims unit and the advocates as well. We have Coordinator Pearl Guzman. We also have Advocate Sandra Ruiz. We have Advocate Blanca Gomez. We have Advocate Jennifer Longoria, Advocate Amanda Garza, Advocate Clarissa Castañeda, Advocate Veronica Neira, Advocate Hector Garcia, Advocate Celina Sandoval, Advocate Ramona Garcia, Advocate Sandra Rodriguez, Advocate Yara Gomez, Advocate Angelica Mesa, and also Coordinator Brenda Fuentes. And judges, commissioners, you've seen the teams that have come before you this morning, and I want to tell you that you guys are part of the team as well. You guys have helped us tremendously, not only in support, but financially also putting money in the right place, funds to be able to operate. And yes, you know, we operate through many grants, but we could not have done this or put this together without your support. So thank you again. I know we've taken up some time, but thank you for putting this before the community and allowing the community to hear about the different services that we have, the different events that are coming up this month, which we'll be sharing with the community and also with you all. So God bless you, and thank you again, Judge and Commissioners.
Thank you, and thank you all for your service. That concludes all of our proclamations. Next item will be item D. 7D.
Good morning, Judge Cortez, Commissioners. Rosalinda Cantu presenting item 7D for the District Attorney's Office. DA Victim Assistance Program, Grant Fund 1281. We're asking for approval to ratify action taken on March 23rd, 2021 through agenda item AI 79965 for a budget adjustment submitted to the Office of the Governor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 8A, Constable Precinct 4.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. 8A, approval to declare surplus and remove from county inventory list county asset number 77119, K9 Mijo, a male German Shepherd due to his death from a gastric dilation of ovaries.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. I want the public
That's
to
all
know
I've
we
got,
did.
Judge. Thank you so much, Commissioners.
I want the public to know we did everything to keep them alive. Couldn't do it. Next
Thank you,
item
Judge,
is
Commissioners.
9A, Constable Precinct 5.
Judge, if I may, for Constable Precinct 5, I know Constable Marichalar was on. If I may, for Constable Precinct 5, he is asking the following discussion, consideration, approval to appoint Mr. Jaime J. Cano as Deputy Constable by Constable Daniel Marichalar, Constable Precinct 5. This is in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, I have been notified that the two participants that had signed up for open forum, it appears that we've cleared up the technicalities. So I'm going to ask the court to acknowledge the two participants. The first one will be Ms. Carla Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez.
Sí.
Sí, hay un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobre un minuto. Y adelante, por favor.
Buenos días, señor Everardo Villarreal. Mi nombre es Carla Rodríguez, soy de la colonia Eduardo 7 y pertenezco al precinto 3. Soy miembro de Lupe. Mi llamada es para darle las gracias por la limpieza de colonias, ya que era una necesidad para nosotros. Y gracias por atender nuestro llamado tan pronto como les fue posible. Esperamos seguir trabajando para otros proyectos. Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you. Judge, Commissioners, as a quick translation, Ms. Carla Rodriguez is with the subdivision Eduardo 7. She is with the Lupe organization. She called to thank Commissioner Villarreal for his support and quick turnaround time in the cleanup of their subdivision and area, and they look forward to continuing to work with Commissioner Villarreal. And our last presenter will be Ms. Usamia Cardenas. Ms. Cardenas?
Sí, buenos días.
Buenos días, Ms. Cárdenas. Hay un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a avisar cuando le sobra 1 minuto. Adelante, por favor.
Está muy bien. Muchas gracias. Buenos días. Mi nombre es Eugenia Cárdenas. Soy de la colonia Eduardo 7. Me gustaría darle las gracias al señor comisionado Everardo Villarreal, ya que en esta vez nos sirvió mucho, que nos ayudó rápidamente y se nos limpió la colonia y le queremos dar las gracias, ¿verdad? Ya que, ¿verdad?, estamos bien agradecidos que a las colonias cercanas también recogieron toda la basura, las ramas, ¿verdad? Y también gracias a la organización Lupe, que por medio de ellos nos comunicamos con el comisionado y ¿verdad?, también les quiero dar las gracias. Y nuevamente al señor comisionado Everardo Villarreal, ¿verdad?, que está atentamente al tanto de todos los pedidos que le hacen las colonias, y es todo. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias. Thank you. Judge, Commissioners.
Okay.
Gracias. As a quick translation, Ms. Cardenas is with the Eduardo 7 subdivision, and she wanted to call in and thank Commissioner Villarreal for his quick turnaround time with respect to the cleanup efforts that were done in their subdivision. Again, her and her community and her residents are very thankful to Commissioner Villarreal, as well as the trash and brush cleanup efforts that have been done, and the services provided by Commissioner Villarreal.
Thank you. We're back to item 10A, Human Resources. Erica Reyna.
Good morning to all. Erika Reyna for the Department of Human Resources. Item 10A, I'm requesting a waiver of the following if applicable for the personnel items listed. I need action on item number 3, the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendments.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 10B for Precinct 2 Parks, requesting approval to create 6 temporary part-time positions for 12 weeks, beginning May 24, 2021, and ending August 15, 2021. The positions are as follows: slot T060, a head lifeguard; slot T061, a lifeguard; T062, a lifeguard; T063, lifeguard; T064, and T065 attendants for the hourly rates as listed. These positions come before Commissioners Court annually, and they are essential for the public safety at the Aquiles Jaime Garza Pool.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next item for 11A.
11A, Urban County, PR Abilene.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. For 11A, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, the Urban County Program is requesting approval to purchase equipment from NAFECO for the City of Progreso Fire Department in the amount of $23,775. UCP fiscal years 2019 City of Progreso funds, UCP funds will be used.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next item, Mr. Olivares.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. I have a couple of items today. 12A, requesting approval to accept the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Grant, contract number 537-1A-0176-00001. Amendment number 6, with a contract term of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, for the county judge to e-sign the amendment and the Fiscal Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act certification. That's item 1, sir. So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item A2, sir, is requesting approval of the certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $592,448 to appropriate the same into appropriation of the local match in the amount of $59,255, which is part of our annual budget, sir. So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Eddie.
I have one more
Elections-
item, sir.
Election Administration, Yvonne Ramon.
Good morning. Melanie Esparza, filling in for Ms. Yvonne Ramon. 13A, Agenda Item 80214. Number 1 is a discussion of election updates. We have the upcoming city and school elections with early voting beginning April 19th through April 27th, and election day falling on May 1st. Number 2 is the approval of the May 2021 general election service contracts between Hidalgo County and the following entities for their elections to be held on May 1st, 2021. A is the City of San Juan, B is the McAllen ISD, C is Progreso ISD, and D is Sherryland ISD.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
14A, Head Start.
Judge,
Teresa Flores.
Commissioners, could we go back to 12B?
I'm sorry?
We didn't do 12B.
Mr. Olivares?
Yes, real quick, Judge, 12B, sir, is the Medicaid Administrative Claiming, or MAC, program income, requesting approval of certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $72,669.80 for the Medicaid Administrative Claiming, or MAC, program income generated during 2020 and appropriation of the same.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Well, apologize for that. I had a senior moment there.
Not a problem. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. Next item. 14A.
Yes, Teresa Flores with Head Start. Discussion and approval to submit a supplemental application for a cost of living adjustment. The Hidalgo County Head Start program is submitting a supplemental application for fiscal year 2021, January the 1st through December 31st, 2021, as per instructions in a letter dated March the 19th, 2021, from the Administration of Children and Families, receiving notification of available funding of $352,813 for a cost of living adjustment. The minimum cost of living adjustment is at 1.22%. We went ahead and maxed out that amount of money, and it ended up being 1.59% across the board for all salaries. And so when this cost of living adjustment comes, it requires the program to adjust the salary scale up by the 1.59%. Going back retroactive to January the 1st, 2021. We have to have a matching cost of 20%, a local 20% match. We're able to get that from our participation in partnerships with the school districts, and that amounts to $89,703. So the county does not have to issue that participation of 20%. We're able to come up with it. This is all federal funds. The Policy Council has reviewed and approved this application. The attachment shows the salary scale and how it's going to be impacted. We have one error there with regards to the part-time bus aides. The half-time or part-time, they work 4 hours, and so when they applied the calculations on the right-hand column, it doubled it, and that is not correct. That amount is going to be $9,420.36. It's a calculation error that was taken care of back with the Policy Council also. It includes the nutrition department, and those are Texas Department of Agricultural funds, and the nutrition staff will also be eligible for this 1.59%, it gets submitted, it must be, meet the deadline of April the 15th, 2021. Are there any particular questions?
Ms. Flores, does it say in the guidelines that it has to be a flat rate for everybody equally, or is that just to make it easy?
No, that's the way that the Office of Head Start, if you look at the letter attached from the Office of Head Start, it tells you that it goes across the board for all employees in Head Start.
Thank you.
Okay. This is the normal standing procedure that the Office of Head Start follows. It can be more than that, but it's normally just follows that amount of money. When we have had our cost of living adjustments, it's been not coordinated or in collaboration, or maybe should I say, it doesn't follow any other cost of living adjustments that county employees have. This is just Head Start.
So, second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Arredondo, Planning Department.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. Item 15A1A, 3R Ranch subdivision in Precinct 1 is a two-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and septic tanks will be used. It was approved by the City of Wesco. A variance is to reduce the lot width from 65 feet to 50 feet. We recommend preliminary approval with a variance request.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item, 15A2A, Stone Oaks subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 54-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. There will be approximately 9 streetlights, and there will be 8 filling stations. Water is provided by North Alamo, and septic tanks will be used. It was approved by the City of Wesco. We recommend preliminary approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the last item is 15A3A, RBR number 2 in Precinct 4, a 34-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. 5 streetlights and 3 filling stations have been installed. Water is provided by North Alamo, and septic tanks are going to be used. We recommend final approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Arredondo. Item 16A, Precinct 4.
Hello, Dr. Jennifer Mendoza Culbertson, Chief of Staff, Internal Affairs for Precinct 4. I will be presenting item 80246, approval to submit a resolution in support of joint request by Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for fiscal year 22 community project funding for the North Main Drain Expansion Project. Would you like for me to read the resolution?
Please.
A resolution in support of joint request by Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for fiscal year 22 community project funding for North Main Drain Expansion Project. Whereas chronic flooding has affected economy, health, and safety of citizens of the state of Texas and of Hidalgo County, and whereas over the last 5 years, Hidalgo County has suffered significant flood events that have resulted in 6 major disaster declarations. And whereas Hidalgo County is the 7th largest county by population, with a population of approximately 1 million citizens, and Hidalgo County represents a critical component of the economy of the state of Texas. And whereas Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 are submitting a joint request for fiscal year 22 community project funding to expand a portion of the North Main Drain and thereby increasing its drainage system's capacity. And whereas the proposed project will result in millions of cubic yards of additional storage capacity that will safely manage stormwater and produce a cost-effective benefit to highly urbanized areas of Hidalgo County. And whereas drainage infrastructure projects are critical in producing community resilience and economic growth, as well as in safeguarding the health and safety of citizens of Hidalgo County. And whereas the funding for Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1's joint request for fiscal year 22 community project funding for North Main Drain Expansion Project will have an immediate and measurable effect in reducing flooding and safeguarding the health and safety of citizens of Hidalgo County. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court strongly supports the joint request by Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for fiscal year 22 community project funding for North Main Drain Expansion Project.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Great project.
And I would like to thank Commissioner Torres for taking the lead on this. It would be a great addition for our drainage infrastructure.
Definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And now for agenda item 80243, authorization to submit a joint request with Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for fiscal year 22 community project funding for North Main Drain Expansion Project.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Budget and Management, Mr. Cruz.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 17A is status update on the Hidalgo County Wellness Program. And here to present is going to be Ms. Diana Hualpa.
Good morning, County Commissioners. Judge Diana Hualpa with the Hidalgo County Wellness Program. I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can review the presentation. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and start with the Diabetes Management Program. We're also going to discuss some metrics on Brera Whole Health and Teladoc, as well as a couple of programs that we have on this month, and also some goals that we have for our Facebook group. For the Diabetes Management Plus program, we have a total of 117 enrolled members out of the 347 qualifying members. That gives us a 34% enrollment rate. And out of that 34%, we have 83 of activation rate, which means that 82% of the people that have been enrolling the program, they are actually doing their blood glucose checks. For the next one, we have Brera Whole Health. We have a total of 757 attributed members. We did see a super huge increase for the month of March due to the mobile biometric clinics. We went to the administration building with departments such as the tax office, auditors, HR department, budget and management, purchasing were able to participate and do their biometric screening here on site. We also went to the McCall Plains Capitol building where we did a special event for the facilities management staff. And we also went to the Commissioner's Court and the Annex building as well. We currently have a total of 11.04% of enrollment rate. And the goal is to be at 30% by the end of a year after the launch of the program. So we're definitely below that goal, where we're going to continue to focus on engagement and on promoting this benefit. We will definitely continue to need the support of department heads and of course the court to continue to promote this new program to the employees as well. We also have our Teladoc Health. We do have a total of 46.9% of annualized utilizations and over 44,000 of total net claim savings. I did wanted to mention that most of our employees and the members that have been utilizing the program and utilizing the mobile app, that's 72% of them. The rest of them are doing it through the phone or through the website as well. And just wanted to share some of the upcoming events. We still have the fitness classes with Commissioner Precinct 2 in their sports complex on Monday to Friday, 5 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5:30. They are now in person and they do have a capacity of 10 people per class. We also launched 2 campaigns for the month of April. We have our Counseling Awareness Month and the Stress Awareness Month. So we're definitely going to be emphasizing on the services that we have for mental health, such as the Employee Assistance Program, the counseling services, and we do have 2 webinars that focus on these topics as well. Also, at the end of the month, we're going to have some presentations for the wellness program where we're going to go to different locations to explain the benefits that we have through the county's medical insurance and also to the wellness program. And that's also going to give the opportunity for the employees to ask any questions that they might have regarding any of the programs that we have been promoting. Lastly, I did wanted to mention we had our Wellness Ambassadors Committee meeting last month on the month of March, and we do have a goal of reaching 1,000 members. We currently have a total of 635 members on our Facebook group. We know that social media is a really important communication outlet, so we want to continue to promote that and hopefully reach our goal of Facebook. I also want to thank our commissioners that joined us for the Wellness Ambassadors Committee meeting, and we also had a really good presentation on the Livongo program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job.
Judge Commissioners, that won't require any action. It was just a status update. Item 17B, 1 and 2, discussion, consideration, and approval of a service agreement with Magic Valley Electric Cooperative for the installation of 6 streetlights in Presidio Estates number 2 subdivision located in precinct 1, and the installation of 4 streetlights in the Owasso Acre subdivision located in precinct 4. We do recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And finally, item 17C is approval of 2021 interfund transfer from Fund 1351 and 1355 into TxDOT Fund 1315 in the amount of $7,928.45. We do recommend approval.
So move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you very much. Martin Salazar.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Dina Trevino for the Purchasing Department. Item 18A for Precinct 2, requesting approval to execute the final form of professional engineering service agreement for the provision of on-call geotechnical and construction material testing services with Terracon Consultants for projects located in Precinct 2 and subject to compliance with Form 1295.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
18B for Precinct 3, requesting authority to advertise with approval of RFP procurement packet as attached hereto for Hidalgo County Precinct 3 emergency ambulance services for unincorporated areas in Precinct 3, including re-advertising if applicable.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Was there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, appointment of an evaluation committee to review, score, and grade the submitted RFP pursuant to the criteria set forth in the RFP.
Would that be from my office, Ms. Trevino?
Okay? Yes, from your office.
Martin Garza, Leo Longoria, and Gabriel Gonzalez.
Motion to approve that appointment.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 18C for Precinct 4, a recommendation by project engineer Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for a Commissioner's Court to award the Texas Cordia Construction LLC, the responsible vendor, submitting the lowest and best bid for the project titled Avila Harwell Campuses Safe Walk Community Project located in Precinct 4.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, approval of construction contract between Hidalgo County and Texas Cordia Construction LLC.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
18.2, approval of work authorization number 2 for Rabbitt Kistner Inc. for construction material and geotechnical testing services for Avila Harwell Campus Safe Walk Community Project in the amount of $7,964.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 18.3, requesting approval of supplemental agreement number 1 to work authorization number 1 with RO Engineering PLLC for the design and construction of the bus stop shelter for San Carlos in Precinct 4 to increase the number of hours and scope needed to complete the construction management and engineering services with an increase of $5,557.50.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 18D for the IT department, requesting authority to purchase wireless cabling and installation services for the sheriff's office from Insight Public Sector, Inc., award vendor through Hidalgo County's membership with Omnia Partners in the amount of $190,815.91.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 18.2, discussion and consideration to approve the purchase of the listed products and services with SHI Government Solutions under the respective DIR cooperative agreements.
So move.
Second?
I have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
18E for the Health and Human Services Department, requesting approval of change order number 1 in connection with project awarded to Haircon LLC for the remodel and repair of modular building to repair the trailer flooring due to water line break.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 18F for the juvenile probation. A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A7AD, an item that can only be obtained from one source because of the existence of patents, copyright, captive replacement parts, or components for equipment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, acceptance and approval of sole source declaration for CML Security LLC with authority to purchase a new video electronic surveillance system, including support and future upgrades utilizing the original software created and programmed for the juvenile boot camp for the life of the system.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 18G for the district attorney, requesting approval to enter into a 12-month service agreement with RSP Business Solutions for the continued design, development, and maintenance of the district attorney's website with a monthly cost of $350.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 19A, for the record, we didn't address the approval of the consent agenda. We placed the wrong time on the notice, so we'll be having a special call meeting to address that issue at 2 o'clock.
Right, and Judge, if I may add, exactly, it'll be the same meeting that we're gonna call. We're gonna recess, and then at 2 o'clock, we'll have the members of the court zoom in for the actual approval of that agenda item. Judge, Commissioners, if I may, under item 19, there's no action under item 19A, 1 and 2 this week. I do have item 19B, Hidalgo County Historical Commission. I should have the chairperson of the Historical Commission on the Zoom call. I unfortunately do not see them on, so if I may, I will continue.
No.
We have the presentation of approval of officers for the 2021-2023 term. And as a background, officers serve a 2-year term. And currently we have the chair is Adela Ortega, Preservation Chair Aida Escobar, Cemetery Chair Harry Rakowski, Publicity and Media Adalia De Luna, Treasurer Aggie Peña, and Secretary D. Lopez. There are a total members, can be up to 30. And for Commissioner Precinct 3, we have some new members, and it'll be for Precinct 3, Adela Ortega, Cynthia Iris Gonzalez, Karina Garza de Luna, Irene Becerra Thompson, and Cynthia Stojanovic.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I do believe I essentially took care of item 2, presentation approval of the members of the Hidalgo County Historical Commission. There is a member list attached to the agenda. So again, Judge, as I mentioned, the chairs, Preservation Chair, Cemetery Chair, Publicity and Media Treasurer, Secretary. We did mention the new appointees for Precinct 3 Commissioner, and then we have the balance for Precinct 1, 2, and 4. So for Precinct 1, we have Hilda Ibarra Thompson, and the new members, Lawrence Serna, Rene Guajardo, and Lonnie Flores. For Precinct 2, we have Ed Vela, Spurgeon W. Brown, Aida Escobar, Anita Vela, Alicia De La Rosa, and Rick Silva. Again, for Precinct 3, Amancio Chapa, Adela Ortega, Rosa Laila Ledesma, Maria Hurtado, Adalia De Luna, and we did mention the new appointees. And for precinct 4, we have D. Lopez, Valerie Ramirez, Sean Vicentainer, Aggie Peña, Oscar Martinez, Harry Rakowski, and new members are Esther Camacho, Sandy Riojas, and Gabriel Osuna.
May I have a motion to approve, please?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Judge, Commissioners, I'm going to ask that we go to closed session.
Okay. Pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.087 will be retired in closed session to take those items in closed session. Any action item to be taken will be taken in open session when we return. I have a motion to adjourn to closed session.
So move. Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. It is 11:38. Okay, we're back from closed session. We do have some action items to take.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, if I may, my apologies. So under open session 23A, real estate acquisition appropriation for saying there's no action to be taken today. 23B, pending and or potential litigation, no action to be taken today. 23C, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding response to public health emergency. Judge, Commissioners, I will refer back to Agenda 20 in a minute or so. 23D, cause number CL 192490-A, Gabriel Garcia Espinosa versus Hidalgo County. Judge, Commissioners, we will proceed as directed. 23E, cause number 1201-21-I, Kristen Gonzalez versus County of Hidalgo, Texas. Judge, Commissioners, for the record, I'd like for the court to entertain a motion assigning the case to Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office.
So moved.
Second.
Check.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 23F, claim of Lisa Cantu. Judge, Commissioners, again, I'd like for the court to entertain a motion to assign the claim to Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office for defense handling.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And item 23G, claim of Miriam Rodriguez. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $9,370.94.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For the record, item 22A, there will be no action, and item 22B, there will be no action. So Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to go back and clarify just for the record, item 19B, under Hidalgo County Historical Commission. I mentioned some names, but I want to clarify with respect to each individual precinct, but I want to clarify that the new appointees for Precinct 3 were, as I read, were Adela Ortega, Cynthia Iris Gonzalez, Karina Garza de Luna, Irene Becerra Thompson, and Cynthia Stojanovic. Just wanted to clarify that. If I may, Judge, Commissioners, item 20, discussion, consideration, possible action regarding A, county response to disaster health emergency 1, CARES Act funds. There's no action to be taken. Item 20B, measures necessary to preserve public health and safety. Again, there's no action to be taken this week. Item 20C, direction regarding county government operations, including but not limited to essential functions. Judge, Commissioners, as we've been doing for quite some time, we continue to follow CDC recommended guidelines, social distancing, facial covering, hand sanitizing, as well as working with our facilities department, addressing any issues of concerns with any of our facilities. Again, the safety and welfare of our residents, doing business with the County of Hidalgo and our employees is first and foremost. So with that being said, Judge, Commissioners, there is no action to be taken under item 24, closed session, and so there is no action under item 25, open session. Judge, Commissioners, I'm going to ask that the court recess until 2 p.m. When we will have individuals of the court zoom back in so that we can take action on our consent agenda.
Motion to recess?
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We are at recess. Okay, we're back from recess. We have one item to,
Yes, thank you, Judge. We do have one item but Judge, I'm gonna ask if you could just please take a quick roll call to establish a quorum.
please. May I have a roll call starting with precinct number 3?
Everardo Villarreal, precinct 3.
Ali Torres, precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that's 3 of us, that constitutes a quorum.
David Fuentes is here as well. Excuse me, sorry
I'm
for being late.
sorry, Commissioner
Thank you,
Fuentes, I didn't
Commissioner.
see you that you were on the line.
So Judge Commissioners, with your permission, then we have approval of the consent agenda. So I would like to pull from consent agenda, items 3D, 7A, 11A, 1 and 2, and 13H.
Motion to approve without those items stated by Mr. Guerra.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, for the record, consent agenda item 3D is an intra-departmental transfer of precinct 1, and for clarification, this is a road maintenance intra-departmental transfer. It is a road maintenance intra-departmental transfer. We can have a motion. Second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Consent agenda item 7A is membership dues. For the record, we will have all appropriate documents, an affidavit that will be filed with the county auditor's office on behalf of Ms. Lita Leo.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. And for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will abstain from any discussion and or action related to consent agenda item 11A, 1 and 2. All is in order. If I could have a motion to second.
So move for A1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from voting or discussion on those items.
Thank you. And our last discussion item or approval for under the consent is consent agenda item 13H. For the record, this is a procurement packet for lease of land for a citizen collection site in Sullivan City, and it is for one citizen collection site in Sullivan City.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you very much. We have addressed the approval of the consent agenda in its entirety.
Mr. Guerra,
Yes, sir.
how about the Peñitas one? You didn't read that one.
The Penitas was all in order, but Commissioner, I'm glad you're bringing it up. Commissioners, for the, as a clarification and for the record, under consent agenda item 13G, this is also an approval of a procurement packet for the lease of land for a citizen collection site in Penitas for precinct 3. Commissioner,
Okay.
if you could, just as out of an abundance of caution, if we could have a motion?
So move.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I believe that
Yes,
concludes all
Commissioners,
our
thank you
agenda
so very
items.
much.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Before I call the question, I want to wish everybody a very happy post-Easter holiday. Things are looking better out there in the COVID situation. Hopefully it'll stay that way so we can hopefully return some to normal. All in favor of the motion to retire and to adjourn this meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.